Alexandria Gutierrez reading Cesar Chavez, Champion for Civil Rights. Cesar Chavez grew up very poor. His family traveled from place to find jobs. They worked very hard. During the day, they picked crops in the hot sun. At night, they often had to sleep on the side of the road. As an adult, Chavez worked hard to improve the lives of all farm workers. Cesar Chavez was born on March 31st, 1927, near Yuma, Arizona. His family had their own farm. The Chavez family was Latino. They were originally from Mexico. Life changed for Cesar when he was about 10 years old. There was a very bad drought. No rain fell. Crops would not grow. Cesar's family could no longer afford to keep their farm. They became migrant workers. They traveled from town to town looking for work picking crops. Migrant workers were paid according to how much they picked. In the 1940s, a migrant worker might make less than 50 cents an hour. The Chavez family had to move all the time. Cesar went to more than 30 different schools before he was 13 years old. When he was not in school, he worked in the fields. His family never had enough money. When he was in 8th grade, Cesar quit school and went to work full time. Even though Cesar had to leave school, he kept on learning. He loved to read. He especially liked reading about people who changed the world. Cesar read about an activist named Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi lived in India when it was ruled by Great Britain. He used peaceful ways to win freedom for his country. In 1943, Chavez met Helen Favela. They fell in love. 3 years later, Chavez joined the United States Navy. America was fighting in World War II. Chavez left the Navy in 1948. He and Helen got married. They would have 8 children together. The Chavez family kept working on farms. Like other Latino migrant workers, they had very hard lives. There were no bathrooms in the field. The workers did not even have fresh water to drink. Chavez felt that migrant workers were not treated fairly by growers. Chavez wanted all the farm workers to join together to change the way they were treated. In 1962, Chavez formed a union. It was called the National Farm Workers Association. A union is a group of workers who join together to improve working conditions. In 1965, Chavez heard about problems facing grape pickers in California. Their working conditions were terrible. Chavez and the NFWA led the workers in a strike. They refused to pick grapes. They said they would not work until they were given better pay and better working conditions. In 1966, the NFWA became the United Farm Workers. Their motto was "Si se puede." In Spanish, this means yes, it is possible. That's like saying yes, we can. The workers went to the fields during the day. They held up signs saying they were being treated unfairly. The growers tried to break up the demonstrations. They drove tractors through the fields. This sent up clouds of dust that choked the workers. Some workers were arrested. Others were beaten up. Through it all, the workers remained peaceful. The strike went on and on. Then Chavez had a big idea. He asked people all over America to stop buying grapes from California. This is called a boycott. People listened. The growers lost a lot of money. Still, the strike continued. Chavez knew he needed another big idea. In February 1968, he began a fast. For 25 days, he did not eat anything. He drank only water. Finally, in 1970, the workers won. The growers made a new contract or agreement with the workers. Now they would receive better pay and health care. They would have better working conditions. Chavez continued to fight for better conditions for farm workers for the rest of his life. He died on April 23, 1993. Cesar Chavez believed everyone should be treated fairly. Through his work, he made life better for millions of Latinos and other Americans. A poem about Cesar Chavez. He saw conditions he did not like, so Cesar Chavez led a strike. He got the world to stop and care if migrant workers' lives were fair. You can make a difference. Speak up if you see people being treated unfairly. Look for peaceful ways to solve problems. Work with others to solve problems in your school or community.